welcome back to
Zak and Buzz's
39 Days of Godzilla! Where we take a look at all of the Godzilla movies and give a solid review of them.
Yes, Mr. Bob.
This has been a long time coming,
It
and
has.
Considering we just had the 70th anniversary of Godzilla this year, and we've just had announced another Godzilla film on the way from Japan, what better celebration and opportunity to do a review of all 39 movies.
Yes, let's get in there. Starting with...
So first up we have the original, the classic Godzilla, otherwise known as Gojira, or there's also an American cut of this called Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yay!
But here we're talking about the original theatrical Japanese version of this film, and it is just, in my opinion, a masterpiece.
Well, of course it is. It's the first one.
It is.
What stemmed this whole... It's the biggest franchise in the world when it comes to movies.
It is the original atomic monster film that really kicked off kaiju as a thing.
Do I have to sit here with Godzilla on my lap?
You can put him down. You can put him down if you want.
Because he's got a very big tail.
Yes, it can be argued that Beast from 20,000 Fathoms came out the year before, and obviously that could have potentially inspired this movie, but I do believe there is merit to both movies, and Godzilla by far is a more adult kind of approach, kind of discussing the metaphorical impact on society and things like that.
If you want to see...
To do with the fallout of atomic weapons.
If you want to see The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, you want to watch Matthew Broderick's Godzilla.
Whoa,
basically.
whoa,
Get to that.
whoa! Don't bring up Matthew Broderick's Godzilla. That is way down the line,
Calm
and
down,
we've got
calm down.
so much to get through before we get to that point. What do you love about Godzilla?
Still your fire.
Still my fire.
That's it.
Quiet your storm. That's Clash of the Titans.
Quiet
by the way.
your storm, that's it.
So, what do you love about Godzilla?
Godzilla, I mean everything about it.
It's a classic.
I
It's
grew
a
up
classic.
watching all the Godzillas all the way through the 60s and 70s and onwards.
Yeah.
Obviously there was kind of a bit of a hiatus really, but going really strictly
The
with the
original.
original. I mean obviously, as you say, it's a metaphor.
There's something haunting about
well, the whole
just
thing is
watching
the
it.
original is meant to be a metaphor for obviously the
atomic fallout and things like that.
strikes on Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly enough, the name Godzilla, where it stems from, because
Gojira.
because obviously they needed to give this creature a name, and does it not mean something like bear whale or something like that?
Gorilla whale.
Gorilla whale.
Which was actually, fun fact, the nickname for one of the security guards at the studio.
Yeah, so there you go. So Godzilla, or Gojira, was named after a security guard who worked at the studios.
Yeah, but you look at Godzilla and you don't think gorilla whale, do you?
No, because I mean, obviously, a lot of people have said in the past, and you'll probably hear it, it's kind of T-Rex,
Stegosaurus type thing, but that doesn't
But
really.
it hasn't got 3 arms.
That
of a
doesn't really
T-Rex.
get mentioned until King Kong vs. Godzilla, but that's the American version. So, talking about the American version of this film, they severely edited this in potentially a negative way, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, well,
because
you've also-
they took out a lot of the criticism towards atomic weapons, which I found a bit detrimental to the film as a whole.
It's probably because they dropped them. But you've got to also understand. You've got to understand that there's a lot of, especially after the Second World War, a lot of resentments towards the Japanese.
Post-war tensions, yeah.
So they wanted to, if they're going to suddenly show this foreign, not only just a foreign movie, but a Japanese foreign movie, they kind of needed to adapt it to make it more palatable for the
American audience. Yeah, I can certainly understand that.
So they took out a lot of the more upsetting scenes and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, but taking it out of that context of when this initially came out, I would definitely say, to compare the two, the original Japanese theatrical version of this movie is the most poignant, the most dramatic, and certainly the most striking if possibly all of the franchise.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's what it was meant to
date,
achieve.
yeah.
But it's what it was meant to achieve. It is like a, it's a shocking movie of its time. So anyway, let's just round this up with what's the synopsis of the movie?
The synopsis of the original one is very much atomic testing has brought to life, awakened this ancient beast dinosaur. The kind of origins of Godzilla in this are left to the imagination, but we believe and theorized within the film that it has been awoken by atomic testing. Now, subsequently, lots of attacks happen, and then it becomes very apparent that there is this giant radioactive monster running around Japan, at which point it then attacks Japan as a whole, and then there's obviously the subsequent military efforts, and nothing is scratching this thing. This thing is rampaging like a walking bomb around Japan. Devastating the place. The destruction scenes, the fire, the effects, the miniatures, the suit, they look fantastic in this movie, especially in the dark and black and white look.
As another factoid, you mentioned the suit. I do believe the chap who was in the suit actually passed out.
Well, throughout the franchise, it's been fraught with, let's say, technical complications.
I mean, it's a big suit.
I mean, you can't see in it. It's heavy. It must have been hell being in that suit, but a testament to the guys who actually put themselves in that position to do these exciting scenes.
So what do they eventually have to do about Godzilla?
Well, what they do with Godzilla, well, arguably it could be worse than the creature itself. They resort to going to this Dr. Serizawa. Serizawa is also a name that will appear in later Godzilla movies. Little teaser there. Mostly the modern ones. But anyway, he has created this super weapon, the Oxygen Destroyer, which can remove the oxygen out of water and things, and subsequently they use that on Godzilla to finally destroy him once and for all.
If I recall, doesn't he end up being just the skeleton of Godzilla?
Yes. Which again comes up later.
It comes. But for a 1954 film, yeah, it was flipping good.
I mean, he sacrifices himself at the end as well. Let's not forget that. So the Oxygen Destroyer doesn't fall into the wrong hands. It can't be used for greater devastation as well. Let's not forget, this is a giant monster movie, but it is also up there in the war movies. This is very much a very significant culturally and even for film as a whole, this is a great testament to the creative process.
So there you go, the original
Godzilla. I could probably talk about this for
I can tell
days.
You're very enthusiastic.
I mean, let's be fair. I wrote a dissertation on the Godzilla franchise for my university degree, so I know my shizzle when it comes to these things.
When it comes to Godzilla.
My spirit animal is Godzilla. I love Godzilla, and this one, for me, is a 10 out of 10. Must see.
Yeah, I'll give you that. 10 out of, well, we always rate things.
10 out of 10.
Doesn't really need rating. It's the original. It's 10 out of 10. Please go watch it. It'll be amazing if you haven't seen this.
Definitely do.
Go watch it.
Don't get put off by the black and white. It works in this film's favour. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel.
And if there are any other movie franchises you'd like us to review, let us know in the comments below. It's Godzilla!